Are we still private?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is a pop-up live stream. Normally my live streams are on Saturday. I'm still doing a Saturday one. It's just this is my day off. My only weekday off. So decided to do a pop-up live stream. So I've got Lena with me, and then today we're going to be talking Disney. Some Disney, they're constantly updating their changes, and they announced that pin trading is still going to happen. It's just going to be pin boards, and it's not going to be one-on-one with cast members.
Right.
So, that's pretty much the recent news that Disney has.
Well, there's more news. There's a bakery coming to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up real quick. Disney Parks blog. I actually woke up from a nap like 40 minutes ago. So I hurriedly brushed my hair and did my makeup. I've got my makeup down to like 4 minutes. The article is from today, and it says multi-award-winning local bakery Katelyns Steakhouse.
Hold on.
Ow. If y'all aren't awake yet, you are now. See? I'm telling you in stereo.
Okay. I don't know how to. I was trying to get. I was trying to get it so that I can get a third thing on here so that I can show you how to make the mini bow, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn off the sound. Haven't figured that out yet, so I'll mess with it later.
Yeah. Too funny. But these cookies look insane, and yeah. I'm pretty sure that they are the same cookies that they sell at the Polite Pig, aren't they? They look really similar, but they look like the cookies are half a pound, y'all. I mean, that's a massive cookie.
That is massive.
Like, I'm a chubby girl, and I don't even think I could eat.
Hey, Magic Wishing Star.
A half-pound cookie.
You would have to share that with people.
That would send with the history of diabetes in my family, I would go into a diabetic coma with a half-pound cookie. Because I mean, that's not just the dough. The toppings on these things are nuts. If you go to the Disney Parks blog, you can read the article. And it says it's anticipating to open later this year. So they're on set for opening in 2020.
Yeah.
It says that they are best known for small batch, handmade, almost half-pound cookies. And then in parentheses, they say, yes, you read that right, half-pound. There's no way to say, oh, well, I misread that. No, it says it will bring its own spin to cookie flavors like peanut butter crisp, cookies and cream, pistachio toffee, dark chocolate. They also will have cake and iced coffees, like the original peanut butter iced coffee. Um, Apparently there was a cookie called the coffee cake cookie that was only available once a year, but it will be offered daily at Disney Springs. So, definitely is some place that I want to go and try out
Yeah.
because now I need like 3 other friends to go with me so that I can chop this monstrosity into 4 pieces.
Yeah, that you would definitely need like a few people to share that cookie.
I mean, that just literally gave me a stomach ache.
I mean, you even like looking at pictures of the kitchen sink, you would need like 6 people to finish that thing.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine if they took those cookies and incorporated them into the kitchen sink?
Oh my word. That sugar coma. Talk about a sugar coma.
Hello, Magic Wishing Star. How are you doing?
I
Can you
seriously.
make me a little less close to the camera, Roxy?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. I always feel like they're looking up my nose.
Look at my nose.
Roxana and I are a pair, let me tell you. Oh boy. So if you like Roxana and I's hijinks, make sure to check us out on Spilling the Disney Tea on Friday night on Christy Corner's channel.
Yeah.
And Josh from Josh Goes to Disney is the other guest that night. So all of us combined, that's going to be a good time.
He's going to be the only guy amongst a bunch of girls.
Again.
We talk about a whole. Every time he's the only guy on a live stream, it's always girls talk. It's like, oh, he gets so
really bad for him. He like turns red, like my lipstick red.
He turns like a bright red, and it's just like, oh, it's great. It's great. It is so great. It's just like, just throw a guy in a mix of like a live stream full of girls and just watch their reaction is always priceless.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Just wait until I tell him just wait. You'll deal with this all soon enough. Yeah. Oh boy. And coffee cake cookies sounds delicious. Well, you can come be one of the other. We'll split one, like in quarters, and then we'll just lay there and go, oh, my stomach.
Yeah. See, like sweets, that's like anything that's sweet. Like I have a major sweet tooth, but I gotta be careful of how much I eat because diabetes runs on my mom's side of the family. And it's just like, and it runs on my dad's side of the family. So it's like double whammy for me. It's like, yay!
My dad has it, and my uncle on my mom's side has it, and my cousin on my mom's side has it. My great aunt had it. We're pretty sure that Howard had it, but he would never go get tested for it. But so I'm just waiting. It's kind of one of those things like, yeah, I'm literally just waiting. Those cookies though might send it over the top. Hey, I ate this cookie. Check my blood now.
It's like, Doc.
Now what's it telling you?
What's my blood sugar at? So not only that, but there's now going to be a TSA system at Disney Springs. Because, you know, hibachi grills and hot dogs.
I guarantee that's the whole reason that happened. I mean, it wasn't down there when it was Downtown Disney. It's not been there at all. And then all of a sudden someone brings in a hibachi grill and hot dogs. They forgot their ranch dressing fountain, just saying. And now we have TSA style security. Y'all put it 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah. I mean, it's soon enough they'll bring that security system to the parks, because normally they would have security kind of just, you open up the bag, and if you have any other bags, like cosmetic bags or stuff like that inside your park bag, they would have you open up every single bag, and they'll kind of quickly go through to make sure you don't have anything that you shouldn't be bringing. Who would have thought a hibachi grill?
Pretty much.
Would be like, okay, well, our security system now has to change.
Right?
And I think what a lot of people don't realize, and it's every time I say this, there's that one or two people that get shocked when I say this, is not only does Disney have like regular security guards, but they have their own secret security, and they're dressed like you and I, like regular park people, and so it's like, well, now they have to amp up their game and stuff. And people are, when I say that, people are like, wait, Disney has their own secret, service, where it's like, yeah,
pretty much.
They're highly trained people, and they're trained to handle armed weapons. So if not that they would use it, but in a scenario where it would be needed, they would use it for safety reasons, so that park goers aren't, Hello, the hitchhiking bones.
Hey guys.
So that way, if someone looks suspicious enough, park goers will feel safe, and they won't feel threatened by those security people walking around,
Right.
But they have a strict rules that they need to follow. They can't let anyone know or see that they are carrying a gun with them, and they can't have anyone know that they are Disney Secret Service. So, yes, their security is pretty good. So I do believe some of their security people are like former police officers. I think some of them are also former military personnel.
Yes, so they are.
And that's the reason why they hire those people, is because they know all of that stuff, and they know how to properly handle situations. So I wouldn't be surprised if within the next few months or so, we'll start seeing TSA style security at the parks. So
little known fact about Sam, he is actually an expert sniper from the military.
Yeah.
So one of the things that he said when he retires is he's going to apply to do security at either Disney or Universal or SeaWorld or something.
He shouldn't have a problem with his background.
No. They might get a little scared of his background, but They
might be scared and impressive at the same time.
Make It Blue, a Disney Adventure. Hello and welcome in. Looks like the Hitchhiking Bones and Magic Fishing Star are connecting over both being down in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm up here in Kansas, which is the sister state for Texas. So it's something, in fact, if you didn't know, each state has a sister state. And so saying that the National Guard needs to be called up in Texas and a couple weeks later they need to give them a break, they will actually call on the National Guard in Kansas first because we are their sister state, and we would deploy our troops down to Texas to give them a break, and vice versa. I believe that it's either Missouri and Oklahoma or Colorado and Oklahoma. They're like, right, it's states right they don't have to be right next to each other, but they have to be close enough, like within like a couple days drive. Texas is Kansas' sister state.
I wouldn't know for Illinois. I would guess Wisconsin or Indiana. But that would be just a guess, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but lots happening in the world of Disney. So.
And there's so many rumors that are good, like, as a travel agent, I get messages all the time on my travel agency page. Is this true? I heard this rumor from my cousin Nancy's best friend who lives in such and such. And like, until you hear it from Disney, it's a rumor.
Yeah.
So many rumors.
Yeah, it's like the Minnie Mouse main attraction monthly releases. It's like people are like, well, I heard this and I heard that, and it's like, don't. And then they're like, well, my best friend's sister is a cast member at the Disney store, and they said this, and it's just like, don't go anything by what cast members say.
It's unfortunate that they're having to put a pause on that right now. But I think they were having a lot of problems with bots and people over purchasing and then reselling on eBay.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Hey, y'all! Don't forget to go ahead.
That's cool. Make It Blue. I didn't that your mom grew up in Chicago. Yeah, I'm all the way up in the suburbs, so I don't have to deal with all the madness of the city. So anytime I talk to anyone or I'm online, I just say simply Chicago, because if I were to say the suburb, people are like, where's that? How far is that from Chicago? So I just say, it's a whole lot easier for me to say Chicago, or, and leave it at that, just because, if you were some like average person walking down the street and I said my hometown, which is like, fun fact, I'm actually 20 minutes away from the Leffersons. So,
Magic Wishing Star says that she's from Chicagoland burbs originally in the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all.
I'm all the way in the northwest suburbs near Woodfield Mall. Magic Wishing Star. I don't know if you know where that is, Magic Wishing Star, but yeah. So, like, if I were to say, like, random towns near me, like Arlington Heights or Schaumburg, people would be like, where's that? And it's just like, okay. I get you're confused. I'm just going to say Chicago because people are like, oh, okay. Where that big beam is. It's like, yes, that place. Hey, Josh. His chat literally just popped up. Wow. It's funny because I see like the first one it popped up was Magic Wishing Star, and then Make It Blue, and then randomly Josh just pops up.
And then I posted, Joshie!
Yeah, so I got to figure out how I can connect my phone to this live stream without making people's ears hurt.
Josh says, how rude. You didn't invite me. Sad face.
This was like a somewhat last minute planned. Do you want to join, Joshy, or are you busy?
Say, Josh has been wanting to live stream.
He's just like popping in everyone's live stream.
He doesn't pop into mine. Same.
Oh, she called you out, Josh. She called you out. We're getting sassy over here.
It's the lipstick. It makes me sassy.
You know, the color of your lipstick will put you in a mood. It'll put you in a mood.
It's by Avon. It's a lip gloss, and it's called Devious.
Oh my word!
Josh goes, "Oh hell nah! Invite me now."
So the Hitchhiking Bone says Disney definitely needs to improve on their online shopping. Bots need, yeah. Definitely Hitchhiking Bones. I think that's what Disney is working on, is improving their site and trying. I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to like monitor eBay and Poshmark and all of those other secondhand online shops. So that's probably what they're doing, is they're going in and going after those price gougers and people upselling, which someone is being impatient.
I got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sassy Pants over here.
Joshy, I'm sending it to your Insta.
So I think that's what they're doing, and they're getting rid of the bot accounts. And I think that plus they're having issues with their supplier, and
yeah.
So there's that issue that they need to sort out. And oh, hey, look, he's here to join us, Mr. Sassy himself.
Mr. Sassy Pants. It's my Joshy.
I don't pop into your stream because I don't like you.
Oh.
You want to be sassy? You want to come for me? You're going to get got. Come for me. Try me again. Your hair looked cute before your hair looked cute before your comment.
Thank you. My husband goes, "Who is Joshy? Who do you keep calling Joshy?" I go, "It's Josh Goes to Disney." He goes, "Doesn't he hate you calling him Joshy?" And I go, "I don't know. He hasn't said anything yet."
I have so many nicknames. It's not even a deal. Like, people call me everything. My real nickname is JP. My dad created that nickname, which is JP. I go by Josh, Joshua, Joshy, Joshy Poo. JP is Joshy Poo, but short. That's what my dad calls me. He started calling me Joshy Poo, and then changed it to JP because my niece and nephew couldn't say Joshua or Uncle Josh. So now they call me JP. So they call me Uncle JP. Had to ask
I
favorite.
love that. That's adorable. That's adorable.
Yeah. So I'm Uncle JP. I'm not Uncle Josh or Joshua or anything like that. I'm Uncle JP. Love the Funko background at Josh Goes to Disney. Thanks. I paid a lot of money for this wall. And then what is my favorite? That's like picking a child. Ugh.
Okay, I don't say everyone has a favorite kid. Not gonna lie.
Children, so I don't even know what that is. Ugh. Hold on. Let me see.
I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews, and I have favorites, and they kind of know about that too. So.
Let me see here. My favorite on my wall.
His wall keeps growing, y'all, and you just bought more.
Oh, hold on. Wait, I can't get out of here. Hold on. I'm looking at the comments. Yeah, there's more. Right?
I fallen and I can't get up. Wait, that's the life. Sorry,
Ready?
wrong
It's
circle.
another like 2 levels up. Oh, there we go. And I have more coming.
Hey, Cynthia.
I have a video coming out.
Hey, Candy Mom, how are you?
Of a Hot Topic haul, and then I have a Funko Shop haul coming out. I have a regular Funko Pop haul coming out. I have a Funko Pop giveaway coming out. Funko Pop pin video coming out. So yeah, there's a lot of Funko Pops getting added to this collection. I'm up to like 175, I think. Jesus Almighty, I don't know. I mean, if I really had to pick a favorite, obviously it would be Merida. I mean, like, come on, she's my girl. Like, I have a Merida signed by Merida from Disney World.
Ooh.
So, like, that's such a cool idea.
So, like, she was actually, I brought this Funko Pop to Merida at Disney World and met with her, got her to sign it. That one's cool. I like my Madame Leota, which is the Disney park exclusive one that glows in the dark. Madame Leota.
I heard that part. You have a Haunted Mansion Funko Pop?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 5 of them. Is there a problem?
No, I just love Haunted Mansion. Is there one for Constance?
You love Haunted Mansion?
Yes, I love Haunted Mansion. Did you not know that Constance is my girl? She is my favorite character.
I love her backstory.
I do too. She just is.
that squeal.
There's this one, and then they have some that are out right now for pre-order. It's Constance Hatchaway, but she's on the tombstone from the stretching room. So there's gonna be 2 of those that are coming out.
I like have to have that now.
There's this one. There's the opera singer Phantom right here. And then there's the mummy spirit, which is right there. And then there's also one more. Hold on. I hope he's not on the bottom. Because if he's on the bottom, y'all aren't going to be able to see him.
The Hitchhiking Bones wants to know if you alphabetize them, Josh.
Heck no. Ain't nobody got time for that.
He's got them categorized by movies.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. Then Haunted Mansion would all be together.
Yeah, Roxana, duh.
Jeez, sassy.
He is sassy today, y'all.
Look. Hello, Life with Lena. Hello.
What? I'm trying to put your link in the chat. I love Haunted Mansion. It is my favorite. I could just,
Haunted
if they would just.
Is the worst ride at Disney.
What? Oh hell no! Did he just say that?
Excuse me, man. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Excuse me.
Said that.
Stream.
Ezra, and that's like that. That's creepy. Does he glow in the dark?
No.
That would be creepy if he glowed in the dark.
This is a Disney park exclusive from Disney World. Is anybody else asking me questions? I can't really see chat.
They said that you need to be nice to me.
That's not what they said. I do not alphabetize them. No. I am thinking of putting them in order by movie. Because I'm going to be doing a Funko Pop collection video on my channel in like a month because I just don't have time to record all that. That I'm gonna put out all the Funko Pops behind me in order of video or movies. Not chronological order, just gonna put them in order of movies. So I do not advertise them though. I do not have any Roger Rabbits. The Roger Rabbit and the Jessica Rabbit is super expensive. So I don't have any of those. I do the Funko Pops. I have one Dorb that my dad got me by accident. He thought it was a Funko Pop. It is Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't collect Dorbs.
I forgot this. I had thrown this on my kitchen table. I had gotten it as a prize. I think I have a grounds key. I think I have another one running around here somewhere. It's laying on the floor or under a table or something.
What was it? I'm sorry, I couldn't see it because I had the comments up.
Madam Leota.
Oh,
I forgot
nice.
that she was
That's
just laying. She was just laying on my junk table in my kitchen.
Yes, someone mentioned this one. I did get this one from Box Lunch. I got it on the website. They had a 50% off sale, so it was only $20. And then I had $10 in coupons from like being a royalty member. So I got it. It's a $40 Funko Pop. I got it for $10. So this came out last year, and I was like, I love it so much, but I'm not going to be paying $40 for it. But it came all dinged up and scratched up, and it kind of upset me because I collect in boxes, so I like the boxes of like minty freshness. I have 2 Maleficents. I have this one. I'll take her out of the box because you can't really see her in the box. She's not as awesome. She's not as magnificent, Maleficent in the box.
He's taking a Funko Pop out of the box.
Stream, Boxana.
Kind of did.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, back to Disney and just kidding. He just threw that box on the floor.
That's like a heart attack for him. And
I know, right? He must not care too much about this Funko Pop.
I would rather drop the Funko Pop than the box and the Funko Pop. But this glows in the dark, so her eyes and then her flame and all the smokes around her and stuff all glows in the dark. And then I have one more. Hold on. Oh, she's all the way at the bottom.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
So the funny thing is, this live stream, I was supposed to show Lena how to make bows for mini ears, and that didn't turn out as planned.
That's what it was for?
Okay. It's okay. I told her that I wouldn't be able to follow along anyway, so I'd be watching the replays. So Roxana can just make a video strictly on how to make a bow for mini ears, and it'd probably actually help a lot of people.
I thought we were going to do another crafting.
We are.
Live stream. We were going to show it.
At some point, we will.
Everyone loves your Funko Pops, Josh.
I love them too, everybody. Thank you. And then also someone said they wouldn't subscribe to me. So thank you. I think it was Make It Blue.
Make It Blue, Hitchhiking Bones, and someone else. Oh, you should have 3.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
And I dropped your link in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Lena.
See, I'm a nice person.
At least 3 new subs from this.
But yeah, if y'all subscribe, make sure you turn on the notifications because I'm gonna be doing 2 giveaways, like 2 random giveaways. They have nothing to do with like milestones or anything. They're all just for like randomness. I have extras of stuff and I want to do some giveaways for it. Jesus almighty. Is this upside down? Okay.
Hey, Christy! Christy's Corner is in.
Hey, Christy!
Candy Mom wants your dragon.
Okay, I was looking a little bit.
It is currently still at Box Lunch. It's online, so you can get it on boxlunch.com. They run sales on them every once in a while, and it goes down to like $20. But when I saw it released, I had to get it immediately. Hey, Christy!
All right, there we go. I was looking a little bit dark, so I opened up my blinds.
Y'all want to see what I got at Five Below today?
Okay, hold on, Make It Blue. I will drop my link in the chat. I hate dropping my own link. It makes me feel really stupid. Or like I'm only doing. It makes it feel like I'm only doing live streams for subscribers, and I've already been accused of that in the past 2 months. So,
But it's not your stream though.
I know. That's why I don't like to do it, but I will do it anyway.
Look what I got. Have y'all ever heard of domes?
What?
Well,
Have y'all ever heard of domes?
No. Yes, maybe.
Domes? They're like things on top of a building.
The little things, the mystery domes.
Oh, okay.
I found some at Five Below today. They're Onward edition. So that's a future video.
Okay, I just dropped it in the chat. Make It Blue.
Everybody go subscribe to Lena.
Ow!
So the three of us are going to be on Kirsty's live stream for Spilling the Disney Tea
On Friday.
on Friday.
Poor Josh. Something will come up about feminine issues, and he'll be like,
He'll be all
Well, I messaged Christy today. I literally messaged her today, and I was like, "So, is your live stream Spilling the Disney Tea only for women? Because the majority of the time you only see women on there." And she was like, "No, because I have some male guests coming in the future." And I was like, "Okay, well, I've been begging to be on this stream. Like, I really want to be on Spilling the Disney Tea because the girl, sis, I want to spill some Disney tea." And then she was like, "Well, you can come on Friday because there's gonna be a spot." And I was like, "Well, it's kind of short notice, and I don't know if I can do it because I don't have enough time. 2 days is kind of short notice." So,
drama queen.
Yeah, pretty much.
We know you are, Josh. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Okay, goodbye.
No, Josh, you are like this little cute little brother that I never got to have. All my siblings were older than me.
Well, you're a cute little sister that I never wanted, so.
I'm older than you are, by the way. Thank you.
You're shorter than me.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, I'm shorter than you by 2 inches.
Okay, so you're still shorter than me.
I'm still older than you.
You're littler than me.
You know what, Josh? It doesn't matter what kind of day I'm having. You make me smile all the time. Not gonna lie.
Thanks.
Okay. Have a good day, Candy Mom.
Bye, Candy Mom.
Hey, Roxy, highlight Make It Blue's last comment.
What did it say?
Josh
is an amazing person.
No.
Which one was it?
It's about being new to streaming.
Why don't you come on and stream with us and talk to us?
It says, I am really new to streaming. I have self-doubt sometimes that people want to listen to me. Make It Blue, I felt the same exact way the first time I did a live stream, and it was terrifying. I only thought I was going to go for 30 minutes, and then I was going to stop. And I had like 10 people in my chat, and I was like, holy cow, there's 10 people who care about what I have to say. Or they're just really bored. And
but in your case, they probably just didn't press the button correctly.
Probably. I'm pretty sure that's probably true. And I ended up talking about free things that you could pick up in the Disney parks for scrapbooking. And I ended up going for I think an hour and a half because people were like, what else do you got? What other tips do you have? And it got me connected with other channels that kind of did the same thing who are in the Disney community. And so you never know who's going to be in your live stream listening that may say, hey, you need to hook up with this other person because they love to scrapbook. And that's how I got involved with several other channels. And you just kind of have to jump in and do it and smile. And you can even say, look, this is my first live stream and I'm terrified and thank you guys for being here. And, I've always said be upfront and honest in your live streams because if you're scared, people are going to know it and you might as well say, hey, look, this is my first live stream. I'm terrified and thank you all for being here. And if I stumble across my words, which I still do in my live streams, I will ramble, which is kind of what I'm doing now.
So, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Blue. Make it blue. So, I'm very outgoing and I'm very good with people and I love talking to people. So, I don't have a problem with live streaming. I find it fun. But I think the hardest part about live streaming is when you try to live stream and no one is responding, no one's talking to you on the other side. So if no one's interacting with you, it's kind of hard because you really have to just talk to yourself. For people that watch later or people that want to watch now that may just not be talking. Me personally, it gets so much easier when you have people like you who are doing what you are doing now, where you're responding to what we're saying, and we can feed off of that. And we can respond to what you're saying, so it makes it run smoother. But once you get your foot in the door and you do one of them, it becomes so much easier. Basically, with anything you do in life, if you're nervous about it, once you do it 1 or 2 times, it basically becomes second nature. And also, when you do it with people that you have a connection with or you gel with, you basically are having a connection with them and just chatting with them, and then also interacting with people in the chat. So like me, Lena, and Roxanne are just talking and having a good time, and then y'all are asking questions and y'all are responding to us, and then we're also responding to you. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Josh, he looked frozen for a second.
Yeah, I got a phone call. Sorry.
So I was like, what happened to Josh?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So, Life with Blue, basically, if you want to, come on with us, and right now, if you want to, and chat with us, and we can just help you get into it to get your foot in the door. And if you also ever want to go live on your channel, send me a message. I love to go live and talk to people. So, it's a lot more fun when you do other people besides when you do it by yourself.
So. Yeah, my first live stream was on the Main Street Explorers. Actually, Corey from the Main Street Explorers reached out for me and asked me to join their live stream. I was nervous as heck. My hands were all sweaty and shaky, and my heart was just racy. I'm just like, and like he showed me the live stream doc and what he was gonna. The show was going to be about and all the different topics. I was still nervous, even though I was looking at that sheet. And
hi, Christine.
So
I personally do not like live streams that have an agenda or have like a schedule out because it kind of makes it robotic. If you just have a stream where you just kind of flow and you talk and you chat, I think it goes smoother. Nothing wrong with people that want to have a schedule on their stream because some people live by a schedule and some people like scheduling things out. But for me personally, like I've been asked a couple times when I ask people to live stream with me, they're like, what are we going to talk about? What's our subject? And I was like, Disney. Just like broad of anything you want to talk about Disney. Let's talk about Disney.
Yeah.
Like that's what our YouTube channels are about. So let's just talk about anything that has to do with Disney. So I think when you bring a schedule or an agenda into it, it kind of makes it a little bit more tougher to flow because you feel like you have to go by. Okay, so let's move on to the next subject. Well, I'm not done talking about the other thing first.
Well, with like the Main Street Explorers, their live stream is more like a game show kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, even though like the winner doesn't really win except for bragging rights. That's pretty much what is their live stream. It's just like a fun, like, you know, what you think what your favorite going around and saying what, you know, your favorite Disney snack is, and you know, talking about it and like kind of like a fun little debate, and at the end the viewers get to vote. And like, so I've been on
Is that the channel I won Roxana's robot on?
What?
Is that the one that I won this robot thingy on?
Yeah,
And it's still in the box.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the one. That was the one where Taylor left the live stream so that she could attempt to win.
to try to win this. And it's
Yeah.
still in the box. I've
Do it
decided
also, I
that
think, though, especially with us, we as a group, me, you, and me, Roxana, and Lena, we're all generally around the same subscriber base.
All right. We have, hold on. We've got Make It Blue. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Make It Blue.
Hi.
Hi.
And your name is Katelyn.
Yeah.
What's your real name? I'm not calling you Make It Blue all night.
I'm changing that recently. I realized that I want my name. I still love my family, so like the privacy part is a big deal because obviously I don't want to keep my family's safety in jeopardy.
Yeah,
Because the internet,
understandable.
because the world has weird things when you put stuff out on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's totally, that's totally cool. You could I like your channel name. Make It Blue, a Disney Adventure. I think it's great. And then you could just exactly how you have it there, Katelyn, Make It Blue works for a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, and do you say like, hi, my name's Katelyn in your videos? I need to check out your channel.
Yeah, I do. I'm fairly new. I launched maybe like a month ago. And I started,
welcome.
yeah, and I launched my blog about a month ago. So I wanted it to be both because I wanted all my content to be accessible because being disabled, it's something that you want accessibility because most of the world doesn't do it for you.
Yeah.
And it's not because you guys don't think about it. It's because it kind of gets forgotten in the talks of life. And so I wanted to get my story, put it out there so adults like me who grow up in the negativity of what disability is, let them know that they're not alone in it. Because when you're the only kid in the school district, it makes it really difficult to grow up because you don't know what to expect.
Katelyn, I get where you're coming from. I have epilepsy, and that's not something that I talk about really. I don't think I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but I have epilepsy, and I was the only kid in school that had seizures. And let me tell you, every time I had one at school, freaked my classmates out. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Lena, we actually have something in common. I didn't realize. I had epilepsy, and when I went to my last doctor's appointment, they couldn't find any signs of it. So
Yay!
I am now epilepsy free, so I can drive.
Yay!
Yeah, I've been able to drive for a while now, and so like I totally get that, like, because I got put into special ed classes because of
Special ed was awful. Oh, I had the worst experience with that. And then they tried to kick me out of every year of high school, and I didn't know until my senior year that they were trying to do that.
Yeah, our school, I didn't know it, but apparently I had an IEP in school, and our school district refused to follow it because back in the 90s, 2000s, IEPs weren't a big thing. They were relatively new, and the teachers just ignored them. And so I really didn't get the help I needed, but I would have probably sucker punched the special ed teacher anyway.
Hi, hitchhiking bones. We always see each other in chat on Jeff's stream, so
yeah,
I think that's where I've launched myself on.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yes,
what would that be?
Katelyn, I'm on your channel now. Is this your channel here?
I can't see it. You're getting a glare. No.
That's not it?
Nope. Mine has the little, my icon is a light bulb with a puzzle piece in the middle and Mickey ears on the side. My sister made my logo.
Yeah, it looks like, looks like that, Josh.
Oh, let me make Lena big.
Okay, I found it.
All right, okay.
I should have, my latest video was my catching up with Katelyn episode.
Yeah.
So my question for you, if you want to do it so briefly, really quickly for everybody in the chat and everybody who's watching now, if you want to go ahead and talk about your channel, what is your channel about? What do you post? Like, what do you enjoy posting? Do you go to Disney often? Just so anybody who's going to go subscribe, which I hope everybody in the chat will go subscribe to her channel.
And I just dropped her link.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you.
The link is in the chat. Go click on that when you, either now if you want to, come back and talk to us later, or anybody who's watching us after we get done going live, go subscribe to her channel. Take it away. Take it away. Introduce yourself to everybody because you're new to me. I guess you're new to Roxana and Lena as well. So
Roxana, I've seen in chat. Like I think we've seen you in chat.
Like Dole's dad live streams and Gonzo's live streams and a few others live streams here and there.
Basically, my channel. So I'm 24. So I'm kind of past the adult age. I'm looking forward to going back into school next fall. So I'm applying to schools next fall. My channel is all about Disney life and then also disability life, sharing with people the challenges, the victories, and sometimes the concerns of living everyday disabled, and following my CM journey to go back to being a cast member at the Disney parks because I miss my job every single day. It's something that I continue to miss every single day. So Disney, autism, ADHD, and hearing loss is what I'm diagnosed with, and just life in general, sharing the victories of life.
So, for one, I applaud you for what you're making your videos about. I don't think there's enough YouTube channels out there that are making videos on ways to, I don't know if this is the right word or not, but to survive Disney through a disability. I have a friend who has a channel, her channel's name is called Chronically Disney. And she fights a couple of chronic illnesses that she has that really puts a damper on her everyday life.
Yeah.
And her struggle with what she has. And I try to encourage her every single time I talk to her to please make a video from the perspective of somebody who has a chronic illness. Mm-hmm. Because there's people out there who see, like, for example, me, who go to the parks and make vlogs every time I go there, and no struggle, no issues. The only thing that I struggle with at the park is not being able to ride a couple rides because of my weight. But that's my own fault. That's something that I did to myself. So I don't blame myself for not being able to ride rides. But she also has to ride a scooter because she can't walk for very long because she gets an
ECV.
She has an intense amount of pain, so she does ride an ECV. I said, make a video just simply from the perspective of somebody on a scooter. Like, because my dad rides a scooter because he has neuropathy in his feet. So it's hard for him to walk very far. It makes me so upset walking with him at Disney because people don't even realize he's there. Because
I agree.
He's on another level. So he's down low. People's eyes are so up at Disney. They're looking at the buildings. They're looking at the castle. They're looking at things in the sky.
Gosh, they're doing this.
Well, but I'm saying, like, for me, when I'm walking down Main Street, I'm looking at the buildings. I'm looking at the castle. I'm looking at the lights. I'm not looking what's in front of me. I see people, but they're not in my way. Yeah. Like, I can easily go around them. But for him, if people stop in the middle of the street, they're blocking his path because he can't just run them over. I tell him to, but he doesn't. But
I don't know what I just did.
I was gonna say I don't know what you just did.
But for me, I try so hard to find channels that show Disney from a different perspective, because if you go to a lot of channels, you see a lot of channels showing the same perspective and the same thing over and over again with a different voice. So I applaud you truly on your channel, because it's a breath of fresh air to see some people. And for you also to work at Disney.
I used to be a Disney College Program cast member. Similar to Disney Dan, if you guys know his story about being an ICP cast member, it's basically the same program, but in the United States. My program was spring of 2016, Spring Advantage, which basically how it works is each season, so they have a spring and a fall semester. Your fall semester will start like the end of August, and it'll go through like the end of December, the couple days in January, and then the spring program, you'll come in January and you'll go through like mid to end May. But my program, I had the beginning of spring semester and then went through the summer. I worked at Pin Traders in Disney Springs. That was my home location, as well as Marketplace Co-op and Trendy. And then back in 2016, there was a little stroller rental that was around the corner from Pin Traders at the time. I worked at that location until it moved to Town Center when Town Center opened.
Yeah, I also did the GCP, and I did fall 2010.
Leave the water in the sink.
Which was a different time.
Yeah.
Leave the water in the sink.
You got it. Sorry, that was my sister.
Okay. So.
Hi, sister.
Hi, Katelyns sister.
She was actually on a live stream with April Rogan, who is another special needs channel that's kind of just sharing a nonverbal perspective from being a child. So they've been streaming. So my sister was on it, sharing her perspective of being a normal sister that deals with having an older sibling with a disability.
That's
So-
awesome.
I feel like your channel should get a lot of hype because your channel shows something for it. It gives people that don't have a channel to watch or doesn't have somewhere to basically like connect with. It allows them to have a place where they can go and watch something and be like, oh, that person's like me. That person's like me. And I know that I can do it too. If she can do it, I can do it. I can do the Disney College program if she can do it.
Yeah, I had 7 on my program that at least had an autism or an ADHD diagnosis that was on my program, which is pretty incredible, which tells me that Disney cares. I cried for at least an hour, if not more than that, because my mom and I both knew how much that meant. Sorry that I'm lagging. I'm realizing I'm lagging now. My college program was something that was so much more, and I even cried even more during traditions, which for those of you who don't know what traditions is like your first official day as a cast member. You learn the value of the company and things like that. And you have a special guest, but I'm not going to ruin the magic. But when I got that name tag, I cried even more. And the facilitator that was there that day was confused on why I was crying because it's usually a happy day.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you have no idea. I grew up with a negative environment growing up in school. And to know that Disney's possible and it's something that I can pursue a career in was something that changed my life. And my leaders and my management realized how troubling disabled life can be. They saw a regular guest call me up for faking a disability right on stage so that the entire room could hear, and that was in co-op. So you kind of just go through life, but you have challenges and victories. And I think my college program was my biggest victory I've had, because it allowed me to achieve a goal. At age 12, I told my mom, I said, this is something I want to do because CAST did so much for me growing up. It was a way that I could get away from everyone that's going on. And for me, it was nice because then you just didn't have to live that isolated life anymore. Because special ed, a lot of kids don't understand that special ed is just a little bit of help. It's not that you're bad at what you do or you're not normal. And I think my school district, that's why it was so difficult to make friends because they didn't understood.
Yeah, I was lucky and blessed enough that the high school that I went to had.
Here she is. This is Allie.
Hello.
She's a newly high school graduated. She actually graduated on my birthday, which was nice.
Nice.
Sorry, did I ruin your hearing? No. Oh, okay. Good. Well, I'm deaf in one ear, so sometimes I talk too loud to the point where I do ruin her ears. Because I have to make up for the fact of only hearing one ear.
Hey,
and that's
quick,
a medical mystery.
Candy Mom in the chat, the comment from Steve Wilcox was actually me. I was on my dad's account by accident. So that was me. So don't keep your lips sealed. Say what you need to say. That was my mistake. I actually commented on my dad's account. That's why it looks from Steve Wilcox instead of me. So that's why.
But
I made an oopsie.
It happens. We're human. And that's the one thing I think people need to keep in mind is that we're all human, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, like what you're saying, like when a person, a guest accused you of having faking a disability, my dad is...
That upset me. I bawled backstage for quite a while.
My dad rides a scooter in ECV because of his neuropathy, but he's also heavy set like me. So when you're walking down Main Street and you see a person in ACV that looks perfectly normal, they're just heavy set, you think they're lazy and they don't want to walk. You don't see the neuropathy in his feet that's causing him to not be able to walk more than like 5 feet without basically being so out of breath. It's like he ran a marathon.
Right.
So he gets called lazy or fat just because he's riding ACV, which makes him more uncomfortable and makes him not want to go to Disney because something he can't control. He had cancer because of the the stuff that you have to do. I can't chemotherapy and the radiation. It caused him to have neuropathy in his hands and his feet.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a side effect.
Because of that, he has to ride ECV. But because he looks perfectly healthy and nothing's wrong with him physically, he just comes off as lazy because he looks like a heavy dude who doesn't want to walk.
Yeah.
But then gets judged the whole time.
Yeah. So
I have asthma. So before we had it under control, going from the climate in Kansas, going down to the climate in Florida, I got bronchitis every time we went down there. And I'd either get it right towards the end of our trip or when we came back.
Yeah.
And it was
bronchitis is awful.
Breathe. And so my husband Sam actually had to either push me in a chair or I would have to ride a scooter, because if I took more than 12 steps, I'd be huddled over in a coughing fit. And, in today's world, I'd be like strung up and like hung. Or, something, because I couldn't breathe. And so, I get it. I get where Josh's dad is coming from, because people were like, oh, she just doesn't want to walk, or
Right.
she's so fat. And I mean,
Yeah.
I dealt with all the body shaming in high school, and I really don't need to deal with it in my 30s.
It's something I still deal with as a 24-year-old. The two things I get most common, and they're really annoying, and for future people who interact with somebody with an invisible disability, is saying that you don't look autistic. That's the number one thing I get. And most people, I 100% understand that they're coming from a good context. They're coming from the idea that you've done well for yourself, right? But then in our world, it makes us seem like our diagnoses are invalid, in saying that the hard work we have done to get to the point that we are wasn't recognized by the way that one sentence is said. And then the other comment I usually get is, aren't you like young Sheldon, who is also on the autism spectrum, but he's like genius smart? And I said, not everyone with autism is either the genius type or the nonverbal type. I was nonverbal at some point, but I became verbal, and I'm speaking my voice now, because there's a lot of kids of us that are doing well, but we're not the over the edge people that are geniuses, and we're also not the people who are not verbal. And it's a spectrum, and people need to forget that autism is a spectrum, and it's a confusing diagnosis to get, let alone understand. And so when I tell people and I meet them for the first time, I said, I don't expect you to know my everyday life or what to expect. I just need you to know that sometimes maybe things may not look the same for me, or things maybe have to be explained differently. For example, on the live stream, he asked me a yes or no question, and it was really direct, but I didn't understand the context of what he was trying to talk about. So I said, please break it down, because I said, my brain is thinking, can't think that deep into a conversation that quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like those little things. And I tell people, you don't have to expect to learn that every day, but if you are questioning about it, ask somebody. Like, don't be ignorant. And I think that's why I started my channel, because I hated the way that people weren't being ignorant about the way I am and are not educated. Because there's Autism Awareness Month, but everyone knows that autism exists. But it's the idea that they don't accept us is the big problem. Exactly. You get poorly informed. Like Autism Speaks, I'm sorry for those of you who follow Autism Speaks, but they're not a positive in our community, especially for a lot of us teens and adults, because they don't have the right way of putting things. And it's like things like that hurt.
I think we as people, as a country and as people and as a community, we need to step up and not be so quick to judgment.
I agree.
I think that's the major thing as people, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what you look like, regardless of what you do in life, regardless of how much money you have or whatever you do, if you're successful or not, the amount of judgment that happens between person to person, and I can be the first one to admit it, when I walk down the street or if I go into a grocery store, especially Walmart, my judgmental brain just goes off. Like, and it's not like I'm thinking terrible things like, oh my God, they're the worst person in the world. But it's just like, why are they wearing that shirt out in public? Why are they not brushing their hair? Why are they not putting on better shoes? Why are they not wearing shoes? Things like that. And I can say, like, with a homeless person on the side of the road, my judgmental brain, which I'm going to say I'm petty. I'm petty. I think things so much all the time, and I try to stop myself. But when it comes down to it, when you see a homeless person on the side of the road, you think, why would I give you money? You're just
Why would I give you money?
Yeah.
Why would I give you money? You're going to go spend it on liquor and cigarettes. You're not going to actually do anything to succeed yourself, to make yourself better. So it's like, why would I give you money if you're not going to do anything with it but like make yourself worse?
I was going to say the major problem with that, and with the stigmas that I deal with, is due to the media. A lot of TV shows had negative, like a lot of disabled characters in TV shows are usually played by able-bodied people. And that is frustrating because you don't get the proper perspective. Now, there is positive things, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was a great example for that. They actually hired someone who's disabled. They explained what is problem and what is not a problem. But there's shows that just don't make sense. And when I watch them, I laugh because it's like, you have no idea what autism is until you talk to somebody or you are in the shoes of somebody who is autistic. And it's really frustrating.
I think the media, though, at the same time, when they find someone that, or they put something in a TV show or a movie to portray someone who has autism, they always go to the most extreme level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but the problem is
they
always
portray
the middle.
someone, right, who has autism as the highest extreme of autism they can have, and someone who has a lot of things going on that has autism. And because of that, if they see you walking down the street and you're not portraying those things that person on TV is doing, they're going to think you're perfectly fine because you're not doing all those types of things. Whereas everybody that has autism has a different story.
Right.
And people that have Down syndrome, everybody that has Down syndrome are different stories. There's things that go on with mental health and health in general, where there's so many different spectrums from that health. And there's like no one way of having something that I've known. ADHD, ADD, autism, Alzheimer's, dementia. There's so many different levels of those things. And it's like crazy that people think, oh, if they're not like with dementia. My grandfather had dementia, and that was one of the things he passed away from. And it was like, if he wasn't forgetting me, did he actually have dementia? But when it comes down to dementia, there's so many things like colorblindness and sensitivity to touch and forgetting things and anger and different body temperature things that go on with dementia. That's not just forgetting someone's name or forgetting that person exists.
Right.
Which they think dementia and mental illness is just like, oh, he forgot me, so he has it. So it's crazy. I don't know. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I'm glad that you are talking with us so people can be more aware of your channel. You're going to put hope in people that come watch your channel. To little girls and boys and anybody out there that watches your channel.
Yeah, and including cast, because my location was the first cast member that was disabled that they interacted with. And I asked my leader at the end of my program, because he was a U.S. Navy veteran. So I knew that he would be honest with me and what he would say. And the last week of my program, I asked him, I said, what have you learned from me and what will you take forward in being management at Disney? Because I said, you told me I was the first disabled cast member at my location that they were aware of. And he's like, I need to understand that we need to know your boundaries and to know if they get pushed to remove you, first of all, so that way you don't get hurt while trying to perform your job at the best you can, but also letting you explore and letting you learn more.
That's awesome.
And I had amazing leaders and coordinators who would pull me out. On that year, on 4th of July, the registers were down for 6 hours that day. And at that time, I don't know if they fixed it, but Disneyland Paris, Disney World, and Disneyland were all on the same register system. So all three were down for 6 hours. And people were bombarding me with questions. Well, when I don't have answers to questions, that's when an overstimulation attack can start. and it could go from 0 to 100 really fast. And luckily, I had a coordinator who realized that something, she's just said, something doesn't look right, and pulled me out. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, I'm glad you pulled me out, because that could have gotten worse within 5-10 minutes if you didn't pull me out. So it's letting people know that they care is the number one thing I tell people that I want them to take away from me as a cast member or as somebody in general in life. It's just telling them to care and to know. And unfortunately, in school, I didn't have that. And that hurt. And especially when you get to your college program, that helped me grow a lot more in a quick amount of time.
Yeah. Like, I was lucky enough that the high school that I went to, we had like regular education and then special education, and then we had a separate program for kids that had like Down syndrome and other disabilities, so that they can learn the same things that everyone else is learning, but at their own pace. And one of my cousins, her middle child has Down syndrome, and she actually has a podcast. I don't know if she still does the podcast or not, but and she like talks about like she's constantly sharing all the milestones, and it's the same milestones that someone that doesn't have a disability will go through. She's going through those milestones differently, and I myself have a learning disability, so I completely like understand those who are disabled. So it's like I get it. I'm like a lot more
You're learning to be more patient with people.
Yeah, I'm a lot more patient, and the reason why I'm a lot more patient is because like people were patient with me with my learning disability and stuff, and that's the reason why I can be patient with others that have like Down syndrome or autism or what have you. And like that's one of the things I like about Disney is that like they'll hire anyone as long as they feel like you're fit for the job and you can get the job done and stuff, and you're perfect for whatever role that you're auditioning for. They'll hire you regardless, disability or no disability. And
right, that's something that meant a lot.
Yeah. So, and then it's like, and I have two cousins who are adopted, and they both have disabilities. Actually, they both have ADHD and ADD, and they're both on that spectrum. And so, and one of them has, you cannot touch him because he has like a thing with being touched, because he was actually born in Romania. My aunt adopted him from Romania, and he spent, I think, the first, like, I want to say almost 12 months in an orphanage where they weren't being cared for, and being in like, and this is
Candy Mom,
but like being in like a dirty diaper majority of the time, and kind of like, so he's got that whole like, don't touch me, don't get too close to me, and we've learned we've got to approach him at a certain way. So,
right.
And like anytime I'm at Disney and I see someone that's whether in a wheelchair or scooter or whatever, I always back away and ask them if they want to go ahead of me, because I may be walking a little bit slower than than some people may deal with.
Right.
And, I'll be like, do you just want to go ahead of me? And I will let anyone that's like in a wheelchair or scooter go ahead of me, because it's like, I've got two legs that are perfectly working, and I don't need a wheelchair or anything, and I can take my time getting to my destination. It's like, I would much rather have someone who's in like a wheelchair go ahead of me, and have them get to their destination, and I'll wait in line behind them.
Right. Yeah, I think the DAS system, it was something that really shook things up when that program started, and after NBC kind of discovered that.
Cargo.
Hi, Cargo.
Cargo!
And I think the DAS system was something that we did take advantage of when I was younger. Lights were a problem with me. Obviously, I was nonverbal until the age of 5. So my first couple trips to Disney, I was still nonverbal at the time, which made it difficult for dining reservations, things like that. It was very picky with food. So my mom was really limited on where I could go. But luckily, any place we did go, they were able to accommodate me, whether it was trying to find something in a similar dining venue and bring it to us, or making something on the spot. That's why I love Disney. That's why I always gravitated towards it. And a lot of doctors, when my mom started exposing me to Disney, they're like, this is not a good idea. Because they didn't want it to become an obsessive thing where you were constantly watching the TV or you were constantly on the internet. But it clicked, and something clicked, and it somehow started having me starting to talk at some point, and then, becoming a cast member. So my mom always says that Disney is going to be my saving grace at the end of the day, regardless if it turns out to be a good career where I can be at Disney, or if it's going to be somewhere away from Disney, I can still have that Disney magic wherever I go.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do you, how often do you go to Disney? When you're not a cast member, how often do you go?
We try to go once a year as a family. But once our parents divorced, obviously we lost. It become harder. I try to go every year. We actually were very fortunate. We actually went to Disney like literally a week before the parks closed, which was fortunate in our own right. So I was able to see some of my cast family. Actually, the first day I went to Disney Springs, and that's going to be a new tradition now, is to go home and see the cast that I miss a lot. Shout out to Billy and Anna from Pin Traders. You guys are awesome.
The reason I asked is because, do you participate in the disability comeback program?
The disability access system?
Yeah. When you go to Disney and you go to the parks, do you and your party participate in that?
We used to when I was growing up and when I was not as capable of handling the parks. Since I've been going since I was 2, and at least every year. Luckily, I've been able to fully accept it now, and we kind of know my boundaries. So I haven't been able. I've been honestly letting other people who do need that access. Someone like Adventures with Zach, a small channel from the UK that has a nonverbal kid just starting to talk. Like, that's a program where it's going to be necessary because you just don't know whether something's going to happen. And a lot of people don't know that overstimulation attacks aren't like typical tantrums. It can't be changed quickly, and it can't be fixed in a quick amount of time. But luckily, I've been really low on overstimulation attacks, and I know when they're about to start because you kind of get a head start with knowing how it triggers. So I actually just go as a normal everyday guest now, which is pretty exciting.
That's cool.
I used it on our last trip because if you saw on my Instagram, I got rammed in the knee by someone with a
stroller. I've done that. I've had that time or two.
My knee ended up being swollen to about this big around, and I couldn't hardly walk. They thought it might have been fractured. And so they actually ended up comping me a wheelchair for 2 days, and they automatically entered my information in for that program and said that I would have it. So it's actually still on my
Is it through My Disney Experience now?
Yeah, it's through My Disney Experience. You have to go up and there's a specific person at each ride that you go to, and they give you a return time. And either it's an automatic return time, or it may be like, I think when we used it for Smuggler's Run, it was like a 2-hour wait. Because it's not
10 minutes shorter than the standby time.
Right. And
something around there, yeah.
The standby was actually 3 hours, and we had to come back in 2. So
yeah. It's usually It's usually like 10, what I've been told, majority of the time, if you don't go to like Rise of Resistance or like Flight of Passage or something extreme, they'll let you just walk in. They'll usually just be like, it's okay, just go ahead and go in. You don't need to worry about that. The reason I'm asking all these questions though is because last year I took a mentally disabled cousin of mine and her family, because I go to Disney so much. They asked me as a favor. She's like, I bought all the tickets already, but would you be our tour guide? Like, would you guide us throughout the park? And I was like, I will try my very best. I have never, like, I take people all the time. Like, I take my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. I'm usually just a Disney guy, so I'm usually the tour guide of everybody. So we go.
Well, I'm that now for my family, so I totally get you. I will say the number one pro tip for that is allowing for breaks in the park. That changed my park going experience a lot. So maybe people watching or hanging around at the TTA. TTA was an escape for me. So taking those small breaks within the park, and there is some places where it is sensory deficient, like not very much music, where you can just sit and relax and enjoy. The hub grass is a great example of that. Just hanging out, looking at the castle. Obviously not during a show.
Right.
But my best tip for you, Josh, is to get the disability access map. It's the wheelchair icon on a map. It's usually right next to the regular map. It'll tell you if, especially if you're in an ECB, whether you need a transfer or you can ride on. They used to have more descriptions in those park maps. I wish they didn't get rid of them. Especially for a lot of autistic families, it would have helped them made an easier decision. And then also having them, if it's something they really want to ride and the parents aren't sure about it, I usually tell them to watch the POVs, and the parents usually, especially younger age children, they'll know their kids. They'll know what triggers them. They'll know when something can go wrong. So I usually tell them to watch a POV and be like, let them ride and then let them watch, the child watch it for a couple minutes, and then have them make a decision if it's something that they want to attempt. Because obviously you don't want to overwhelm the person.
Well, I've used it multiple times because my dad is disabled because of neuropathy. So we use it with him. But she is mentally disabled and she is nonverbal. I don't know if she has autism. I'm not 100% sure. But she has some things going on where she's 28, 29, I think is how old she is now. At the time, I think she was like 27 or 28. But they simply asked me, like, hey, will you please be our guide? Will you get us some fast passes? Because I've just been blessed by some reason by the Disney gods of being able to get the best fast passes, like without even having to try for it. And I planned the whole entire day. I said, this is what we're going to do. But her mother is very big on, don't talk to me, talk to my daughter, like talk to your cousin. Like, she can understand what you're saying. She just can't respond. So tell her what you're going to do. But if you do that, if you tell her what you're going to do, do not change it. Because she will attack you. She will attack you. And I'm like...
I was like that.
Well, she's like, that's just a funny thing she does because she doesn't like to change. Well, this is the thing about the Disney... not the Disney College program, the disability program. When you go up to do the comeback times, you have to walk to the ride that you want to get a comeback time for. Right? So she is 29 years old. She is probably as tall as me, and she is very strong and very strong-willed. She just can't speak, but she does sign languages. She does sign language. She grunts things to get her point across. And Joanne, which is her mother, decided to tell me, hey, here's the problem with the comeback accessibility. When Laura is her name, sees a ride, she doesn't want to leave the ride. She doesn't understand that she has to come back in an hour and ride the ride. She doesn't. Her brain doesn't comprehend that. Why, if we're here, why can't we just go on the ride? Why do we? She doesn't. She doesn't mind waiting in line. She'll wait 3 hours in line if she has to. But if she's at the ride, she doesn't want to come back to the ride. She wants to do it now. So when we would tell her, hey, we're going to go get a comeback time for this ride, like Peter Pan's flight, we had to come back in an hour. So I would get them 3 fast passes. We would get the comeback times, and then she would freak out. So
yeah, getting used to a routine.
So yeah, that's her thing. Her thing is a routine for sure. So
yeah.
me as a person, no one in my family has disabilities, anything mental that's happening to them, and for me, coming into this, I was like, I'm perfectly fine being your guide. But I was like, y'all gonna have to really, really, really be patient with me because I'm used to go. And I'm used to thinking about myself and the people in the party that don't have anything going on with them either. So we can bounce and forth, back and forth. So we never have to deal with I've never had to deal with any of that kind of stuff. So it was a rude awakening for me because it was something that I don't think about on a daily basis. Things that people live on a daily basis, I wasn't even worried about because I was like, oh, we're going to go get on rides. We're going to do our own thing. Not knowing that she had so many things going on that I didn't even understand because I've known her whole life, but I didn't know she was going on with these things.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. That's something that my family struggled with when I was first going, especially when it was the paper fast pass system. And a lot of family, I can see where your thoughts coming from because a lot of people who do go to the parks with me, and I do ask to take a break, they're like, why do you just don't go? And I'm like, I said, it's not the same for everybody.
She didn't even need a break. Like, that was her thing. Like, she was like, she's so like, she is disabled mentally, but other than that, she's perfectly, I hate to use this word, but normal. So
air quote normal.
Yeah, normal. So when she is ready to go, she's ready to go. Like, we would stop for lunch, and when we ate lunch, she would smack her hands on the table, grunt, and be like, "Can we go?"
Like, I love that.
Joanne was like, okay, she's ready to go, so we need to go. So the whole day was on her
pace.
Her pace and her timeline and her schedule, which my aunt, who was with me as well, was like, hey, you may have a schedule and you may have fast passes, but you need to be flexible and knowing that things might change. We may not go on these things, or we may be late to them because Laura decides that she wants to go in the store and buy something. So I've never spent so much money at Disney on other people ever, because Laura would come up to me and be like, I want this, buy it for me. And I was like, well, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to tell her no. That's rude. It's her birthday as well. So, but she knows that she can get away with it, and she knows that she can trick people into getting things. So she was like doing it all day because she also knew it was her birthday. So like she got like tons of merchandise. But she was that type of person that was like perfectly fine with everything. She was like, I'm ready to go to the next ride. I'm ready to go to the next attraction. I'm ready to go to the next show. Like, she's not like handicapped in that way, but she's just not able to speak. But her mom understands everything she's saying, and her mom's like, she's ready to go. Like, she's like, let's go to the next thing. What you got planned? And it tested me as a tour guide because I try my best to get as many fast passes as I can, and they don't go to Disney very often. So I was just like, okay, I'll just get a ride for this and we'll go ride. She's like, that's fine. Do whatever you need to do, but let's go on a ride, because she's going to freak out if you don't get to go on a ride. So.
Okay, let's so Cargo is like, OMG, I totally get it. This sounds so much like how I do Disney with my little
And Cargo, I think you said Disney, not Disney.
Yeah, Cargo, what's Disney? Or Disney?
Love you.
It's the Canadian way of spelling Disney.
Is she from Canada?
Yeah.
My channel name would be Josh Goes to Disney.
My roommate, actually, one of my roommates.
You have to say it with a Canadian accent. Disney?
Josh does Disney.
I was going to say one of my roommates is actually from Yucatan, Mexico. She's really smart. She's fluent in English, Spanish, Chinese, and she's learning American Sign Language for me right now, which is the coolest thing in the world.
Wow.
I had all the roommate changes, and that was not fun. I had 3 roommate changes, and I didn't meet very much people before my college program, so that was interesting.
Okay, so at the beginning of the live stream, Roxanne and I were talking about how Gideon's Bakery is coming to Disney Springs, and Disney Food Blog is reporting that the Polite Pig in Disney Springs is no longer going to be selling their cookies. Instead, they have developed their own bourbon-based cookie, and it's about the same size as the old ones. And they say you can't taste the bourbon at first, but it kicks in a little while later.
I was going to say, I can't drink alcohol due to my narcotic meds I take, so I actually can't have that. But actually, my hidden gem as a Disney Springs cast member is Erin McKenna's Bakery, and that's also in the landing. That's a hidden gem. A lot of people don't know about that place, and their cupcakes are to die for.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. And I'm wondering where it's going to go in the landing, because my home was in Marketplace, and I walked through the landing quite a bit before my college program. So I'm interested in where that's going to go, because a lot of the landing's very tight.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Roxana.
Okay, so also earlier on, we were talking about Disney Springs and their new security system.
Oh, the security drives me crazy. I was working there during Pulse, and we were told a week and a half later that we were a target. I worked outdoors that night. That made me scared, because we already lost 2 college program cast members on my program already. One due to a medical condition that passed away in their sleep, and they were from Africa, so you can imagine how that was. And then another one was on a bus. We think it's from heat exhaustion mixed with alcohol, but they didn't confirm that. They had police on the case. We don't know anything about that. But that was a scary time, and I told the head of Disney security, I'm like, please don't make sure this doesn't happen to a college program kid, because I don't want to have you guys have to call my mom and tell him I died in just a senseless way.
Yeah. Those of you who are just now joining in, earlier in the live stream, we were talking about how there's now going to be a TSA style security checkpoint at Disney Springs, which
makes me happy.
Wouldn't surprise me if that comes to the parks.
Yeah, I agree.
They need it.
And it's all because of the hibachi grill.
Yeah, we're blaming it on the hibachi grill and hot dogs.
Well,
did you hear about that, Katelyn? Okay.
I'm a cast member. I find out everything. My cast member friends send it to me, and they all laughed about it. They're like, this is hilarious. I actually wish they did that sooner, honestly. Yeah. I wish they did that sooner. Especially how we found out that this guy was going to do it. If they were supposed to do it at Disney Springs, they were going to do it. They were going to hide it in the stroller, which makes me really scared. You know? Like, that's not something you should think about when you go to Disney, is that somebody could be hiding something in a stroller. And so this is something, like the whole TSA thing is something they should have installed as soon as Pulse happened and found out that Disney Springs could have been a target all along. And I understand that a lot of people could be upset about it, because it is a shopping and dining entertainment. So that people are like, why do we need to search the bags? But I said, but as a cast member who works there, who's employed by Disney, and there's third-party merchants that go through Disney's protocol before starting third-party, that makes me concerned for them, because it's like security's not existent there. So I'm very happy that they're doing that. It's something they need to be adding. As a cast member, that makes a lot of my cast family makes us feel more safe in the park.
I'm truly worried about
making cupcakes.
I absolutely love Cargo's comment. Hey, they want to spray my whole dang bakery. Let them.
And I can just see her going.
Like a sassy attitude.
Oh, Cargo is sassy.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just see her.
Cargo is Miss Sass.
Good to know.
So, my thing that I think I've spoken about this on another live stream, but the thing that I'm worried about the most with Disney itself, like being back in Disney, is the possibility that there could be protests or riots in the Disney parks.
I can see that.
That's happened before, but at Disneyland.
Well, with it being being right now, with everything that's going on right now, when they open up in July, you can smuggle in paper, markers, anything of those materials are not going to get stopped by security. So those type of things can easily happen. You can very well easily organize something in that form, but I'm afraid that something might happen in the parks. So I don't know. It's something that I've thought about a lot.
Disney has a ton of undercover security as well as regular security. So even if somebody did try to do something, I think they would be able to shut it down fairly quickly.
I was gonna say the big problem with cast right now is with cheer groups. And you guys, I don't know if you guys experienced this in the parks. In my location, Marketplace Co-op, we had a cheer group attempt to stunt in our shop. And that's when a leader and security came over and it's like, hey, you guys can't do that. Like, you guys could be fined and you could be disqualified for competition. So I see where you're coming from, like seeing that as becoming an issue. But luckily, Disney's like kind of on the ball in terms of what's going on. And they're helping, like they donated $100,000 to help with LGBTQ plus youth. I know
that they'll take care of it. I know that they'll stop it immediately. But my worry is that Disney is such a huge platform, and that if something happens like this at Disney, it'll be worldwide spread.
Gotcha.
But then also, it doesn't take very long to destroy property and destroy something on Disney property that could very well get destroyed before security or Disney cast members can take care of it. That way they can prove a point or they can get even more spread. So not only, it's just something like that worries me. I know Disney will take care of it and they'll get it done quickly. And I understand all of that, but it's still to the point where it's like, if I was a protester or even a writer, Disney's a huge platform. Yeah, Disney is a huge place. It makes a lot of news. It would make the news very quickly if something were to happen to a building or to a statue or to a ride or something like that in that form. So, and then on top of that, then that would also affect everybody else. So it's kind of selfish mindset for me, because I'm like, if something were to happen like that, if a riot were to happen and something were to happen bad to the parks, then Disney would probably shut down even longer just to take care of it. So like that kind of thing gets to me, but I know Disney's amazing. Their security is top notch and they don't deal with bullcrap in the parks. And I know that they are huge advocates for everybody. They don't show favoritism for anything. They love everybody and they want everybody to flourish as a human. But I just see that their size is so big and that their platform is so big.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Okay, so hold your thought. I'm gonna make myself big for a second because I have a special request from Cargo.
I mean, your head's already big enough, but
oh, that was mean.
You gained like 100 subscribers, and you just think you're famous.
Excuse me, sassy.
You have nothing to say because you know it's the truth.
Okay, so Cargo, this is the fabric that I'm playing with. I was supposed to use this to make a bow, and that didn't turn out because I couldn't connect my phone without hurting everyone's ears. Speaking of hurting everyone's ears,
your dog is being very rude.
It was very painful earlier.
I'm deaf in one ear. I haven't been too bad actually, and usually I'm the first to say.
Very disrespectful.
Oh, I love that bow. Toy Story was the movie that actually helped me to talk, so that's awesome for me.
Did you make it?
It's a cargo bow. No, it's a cargo bow.
I was about to say, it's really good for someone who doesn't know how to make a bow.
I was going to say cargo. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a cargo bow.
I love the Triceratops character, but the name is is blanking in my head. What's her name?
Rex.
No, the girl version that's in the third movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen the third movie?
If I have, it's been a while.
You need to
I was
watch it. It's
cleaning-
has the picture perfect ending. As somebody
I was
who grew up in the
cleaning my-
generation with Andy.
3 is not that good.
Okay, I was born in the 90s, so I was a 96 kid.
So was I, but 3 is not that good.
I was cleaning in my craft room and I found some bags of stuff that Cargo had sent me, and it was all of the hair bows she sent me.
Yeah, I've got a few pair of cargo ears, a cargo headband, and cargo has made me. So
I love Porky.
I have cargo ears.
I have all. This is one of my things that I focus on was all of the Toy Story 4 Funko Pops. I have the whole entire line now.
Woohoo!
Wait, did you like?
May I ask, Rosanna, since you were in the college program, where did you stay on housing?
I was in Patterson Court.
Yes, Dan, all three of us were in Patterson. Dan was also in Patterson, too.
Yeah.
I love Patterson, except the walk at 2 a.m. where there's possibly could be snakes on the sidewalk. I don't know if you ever dealt with that.
Snakes don't bite.
That's where shotguns become involved. You shoot the snake.
I don't have
I hate
Jesse.
You
don't
don't
And Josh Jesse's my favorite.
Yeah.
I thought I had Jesse.
So Magic Kingdom is where I was placed at, and I did outdoor foods, or ODF for short. We never called it outdoor foods. We always called it ODF.
Yeah.
As cast members, we never say the full names of things. We always have our special abbreviations and shorten things down.
Right. Cast member lingo.
Yeah, and anytime we say stuff, people are like, "What?" And then we have to say the actual name. They're like, "Oh."
I was going to say, I get that a lot too. I actually said something in a Breakfast with Pals episode with Gonzo about the TransStar buses.
Yeah.
Which I have a rant about. I won't say it here, but it could be a stream of its own because of the rant of the TransStar buses. But anyways, they didn't understand the letter of the bus system was actually like a route. They thought it was just describing how bad the system was. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what did I do?
I have a friend who was in DCP, and let me just tell you, the buses y'all have to take to and from for work and then back and forth to home are a joke.
They're a joke. They changed companies recently.
Regardless, they're a joke. They are freaking a joke. To take 2 hours to get to work,
yep.
That's a joke. Y'all have to do besides to leave 2 hours early for work.
What I usually do is I spent my day in Epcot, usually as a guest of the day, take a bus to Saratoga Springs, and then go up at that last bus stop. I think it's Carousel Park, I think is the name of that last section. And then I'll walk through Marketplace to get to my location. But otherwise, I have to leave work for 2 hours. And then if you had an HOH shift, which is like a stocking shift in the morning, you have to call TransStar 3 days ahead of time and tell them that you need a bus to get to where you need to go, and you have to get to Vista. And I was in Patterson, so usually you would take the A or B bus because it's the only bus that's running that early in the morning.
Yeah, the buses, they would always break down.
They would go on fire. the famous Twitter tweet of Magic Kingdom's A bus going on fire.
You couldn't Uber or Lyft?
I would have to take all the time.
They're way expensive. I had to take an Uber to go to, I have another pick with Orlando Medical System. I can only be prescribed 30 days of my medication that I currently take. And I've been on it since the age of 4. I'm 24 now, so I've been taking it for 14 years now. And you only can get a 30-day prescription from a general physician. which is frustrating. And then you have to go see psychologists. So I'm thinking, how is that going to work on Disney's health insurance if I do work for them? But anyways, it actually cost me, Josh. The place was about 3 miles from Disney housing. The ride was $25.
Right, but at the same time, I would rather pay $25 than have to leave 2 hours early for work.
But you also had to pay rent. You barely had enough to pay for groceries. Roxana, I think you could attest to me on that. My apartment at Patterson was a 3-bedroom, 6-person apartment. Everyone paid the same amount. I paid around $107 a week, and it's taken automatically out of your paycheck. And if you don't have enough hours to cover it, you have to pay out of your own pocket.
Yeah.
Right, but at the same time, I'm just like, I leave like the last minute I can, and then also have to be on the bus for 2 hours when you're like not wanting to go to work in the first place.
I was happy to go to work, honestly, because my location was so much fun.
I was actually happy to go to work as well because I was one of those people that was selling the Mickey ice cream bars and making popcorn and selling the cinnamon roasted almonds. So I was around food all day, so I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind it. The hours was when it got a little crazy because the summer I started working 10 to 12-hour shifts.
They work DCP like dogs.
Oh, yes.
Cheap labor.
I will say the disability people at Disney were absolutely amazing. I had a guy that I could be able to call 24/7 if I had any issue, which was amazing. I thought that was something that was so cool.
Yeah.
So real quick, I am going to go.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I actually came in here to record videos for like some future videos for the channel, for my channel. So I've been on here for like an hour, I think, or more. So I need to go record those videos. I have like 3 videos to record real quick. But thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jess. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too. Anybody in the future or anybody that's watching, just to give you a heads up, Saturday at 8 p.m. I am going live on my channel for my birthday live stream.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Are you before or after Roxana?
Well, I'm going on with other people. I have 5 people that don't ever live stream with me that wanted to live stream. So I'm going on at 8 on Saturday.
8 Eastern or Central?
Eastern.
So 7 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going on with Miss Cherry, Twinkle Bell Taryn, the Mouse Diva, the Disney Damsel, and then somebody else. Oh, Enchanted Rita. So I'm going to be with them for an hour or so just to chat and catch up, celebrate my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and then also my birthday, my 29th birthday. So you want to have a
happy birthday, Cargo.
Happy birthday, Cargo. Are you going live on Saturday, Roxana, too?
Yes.
Okay. Depending on how long my thing goes, I don't think it's gonna go longer, but maybe like an hour. Not majority, like all of them don't really live stream, so I don't know how long they're gonna want to go. It's basically just like a birthday present to me. I'll come chat and hang out if you're still going. I know you like to go on for like 8 hours, so.
Say hello, Auntie Cargo.
I'll send you a message on Instagram after I'm done and see if you're still good.
Hey, you're okay. Okay, I'll let you down. Stop.
It's just like, Mom.
She's like, I'm
trying to clawing me in the face.
Yes, yeah, and yes, Chrissy, that's gonna be on my channel at 8 p.m. on Saturday Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna hang up here and I'm gonna go make a video for Instagram and put that up. So I love you all. Thank you again for having me.
You like me too, Joshi.
Thank you for letting me come on and steal your stream for like 20 minutes to talk about Funkos. That was like my highest part of my day.
Well, I love Vinomation and pins and Funko, so I'm obsessed with all of it.
My wall is just beauty miss. It's beauty miss. Like look at this. Ready? Are you ready? Hold on. There's so much space for more Funkos.
Nice.
You see all this right here?
He doesn't need more Funkos.
And then there's more space up there.
I
So,
say at some point you're gonna need a step stool to get to all your Funkos.
I'm pretty tall, so I feel like I can reach them. But
I guess I'm 5'4", so I guess I have a different perspective.
yeah, I'm taller than this already, so that's good. But thank you again. Love you all. Have a great day. Thank you,
All
Roxana.
right. See
Bye,
you
Bye,
Leah.
Joshy.
Bye, Christine. Or Katelyn. Sorry, Katelyn. Ooh,
No, it's okay.
I knew it was a C.
Hey, it's good. You can call me Kate too. That was my nickname growing up.
All right. We'll have to live stream in the future too, Katelyn.
Sounds good. Just message me on Instagram.
Okay, I'll go follow you on there too.
Josh, I tagged all 4 of us in a post on Instagram, so you'll be able to find her.
Okay, sounds good. Bye. Bye, everybody in the chat too. Thank you for chatting. Goodbye.
Bye, Josh. See you Friday.
I was going to say, Lena, I kind of want to ask you a question about travel agent because I've been looking into that, and especially I miss the magic, so I like creating magic for others.
I'm an independent travel agent through Magical Enchanted Vacations out of Killeen, Texas. I've been a travel agent since, officially since I signed the paperwork in January, but I was offered the position in December. Actually, I think I was technically offered it in September. I just never got back with them because I didn't realize that's what it was. Right. I'm specialized in Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Legoland, cruises, general travel, and just general travel, like just booking a regular hotel or a rental car.
Nice.
I've spent a lot of the time that nothing's going on doing extra trainings and stuff.
Well, that's helpful even at this time where you're not really doing much, because then you can even be more knowledge when the parks and everything starts to reopen. We have a cruise on the Breeze in August, and we're kind of up in the air.
Yeah. I've done a cruise once. It was through the Norwegian Cruise Line, and I'm looking to hopefully by 2022 to do my first Disney cruise. So
we're down. We're down for that, by the way.
Yes.
I was going to tell you.
Tell Sam many thanks.
I was going to say, I've never done Disney, and I really want to. And actually, my international roommate, she worked like a dog. Her location was at World Disney, and she worked there for 60 hours a week. She's an amazing human, but she wants to work for DCL, and I said, just be careful. The cruise industry is going through a lot of changes right now. And I told her, I said, you might not be able to get a visa as quickly. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Travel
industry in general is going through some changes. So
retail industry has been. I've been working for retail since I was 18. I'm 24 now. And we have gone through more changes in the past 6 months than probably my 5 years of retail altogether.
I work at a car wash, and we've made some changes. We've made changes on how we do interior details. So for now, since I'm in Illinois, and we're not quite at the 50% capacity yet, and they're looking. I think July is when the state will be open at 50%. So we now have to do this, we have 2 different new chemicals, and there's this bio cleaning. So we have to do that. And then we have to do our regular steaming that we normally do. And then from there, we do our regular cleaning. And then, but customers have to do that by appointment now. So the detail shop is still closed, but the wash is still open. Anytime, and Illinois makes it mandatory for all people to wear masks. It doesn't matter if you're considered an essential worker or not. If you leave your house, you have to wear a mask.
Yep.
So
My grandparents live in Niles, so I know what's going on. They actually had COVID, both of them. My grandfather, we were close to losing him. He was at Advocate Lutheran General. We were happy that he survived because he's a lung cancer survivor and lung and prostate cancer survivor. So we were happy that he made it out of there because they weren't sure if he was going to make it.
Yeah. So so it doesn't matter what part of the car wash we get placed, we have to wear a mask. When we're allowed to accept tips, but now when we accept tips, we use this like weird Spider-Man toy that has like a little bag at the bottom.
Well, like I know what you're trying to explain. Yeah.
So we now had to use that, and that's for like social distancing purposes. We now sanitize all of our gas pumps because we have a gas station too. After in between customers, so after a customer leaves, we'll sanitize that gas pump. And then obviously all of the other surfaces we got to sanitize. And it's just like, this is going to be the cleanest we'll see our car wash, because when we go back to being 100% open, it's not going to look like this. Customers are going to be taking their dirty, filthy hands, placing them in all over the place. And the thing is, there's still customers coming in with no face mask. I've gotten customers asking me, do I have to wear a face mask? Yes, you do.
It's state law.
It's state law, so you have to. And there's still customers that will go to the bathroom and not wash their hands. I'm like, you guys are disgusting. Ew, gross.
Like what, you wouldn't even do that if you were just in a regular, even before this COVID. Like, I wouldn't do that.
No, it's like, and it's, they were doing that before COVID was a thing, and they're still doing it now that COVID's still a thing. And like, it's just like, people, come on. That if you don't follow the rules, nothing's gonna go away, And the only reason why Illinois' numbers have not skyrocketed since opening back up is because our governor is crazy strict with mask and social distancing. Those are the two things that are keeping our numbers down. So, and it's just like, and our the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, and there's a whole bunch of memes on the Chicago mayor.
Yeah, I've been getting those. My older cousin is a cop. She's a Chicago police officer. We have several Chicago first responders as well as police officers in our family. We have one that's on the K9 presidential team. So when Air Force One gets flied in, they can use the dogs there. Aruba?
Aruba's not an Air Force One dog.
Well, the last administration.
She's a bomb dog, Kate.
So then why did she have a picture in front of Air Force One?
Because they fly into O'Hare.
So they protect it from bombs. Okay, sorry about that.
Not an Air Force dog, though, Kate.
I'm aware of that. He's a canine.
That's what you said.
Okay, he's a canine. Sorry.
Yeah, so the mayor of Chicago is really cracking down, and I'm all the way out in the suburbs, and sometime in the next few days, they're going to open up the lakefront. They're not going to open up the beaches, but they're going to open up the bike paths and the running paths that are on the lakefront. The reason why the lakefront got closed is because back towards the end of March, we had a really nice warm day here, and all of the spring breakers went to the beach and they weren't keeping their distance, so they had to close it down. And it's like, this is why we can't have nice things, people. This is why things get closed down, because people don't follow the rules. So
I hear you.
Every single day I see the Mayor Lightfoot memes all the time.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, I understand where you are on the northern side. Our family's on the northern side of it, just in the city of Chicago. Obviously not fully downtown, but close to it. We're probably pretty close to the airport. So I've been getting it. I've been concerned for my cousins and my other family in police, you know, because it's a scary time to be a police officer right now, you know, on top of everyone else who's just trying to be heard and be understood. And I understand that. But Chicago is already a hard town to do police officer work in already.
Yeah.
And when you get heightened, and I understand why people are upset, and I get it. Like, not many officers get trained in how to deal with a disabled person, like somebody who's deaf or somebody who's autistic like myself. Like, we could be handled different than anybody else. So I get it. I get where you're coming from. I'm in the state of North Carolina. Our rules are still at 50% up for retail. But it's also individual businesses are changing their minds individually on what they want to do as well. So we can be flexible. So if some businesses are really leery about it, they can. Like, Ultas are still not open here because of how small the locations are. I say that it depends on the state and how their cases are. Like, everyone can't say it's the same. Like, New York and California, who got really hard hit, in Chicago, like, it's going to be different than someone like North Carolina or another state that had lower numbers.
Yeah. It definitely took Illinois much longer to go on lockdown. Basically, and I'm not going to get too much or too political on this, but it took people that are close to our governor to force him to be like, hey, we already had a few people dying from this. You really need a lockdown.
Right.
So our governor was basically forced to put us on lockdown. Yes, Lena.
Cargo's going to come with us in 2022 on our cruise where she's going to bunk with us.
Nice. Yeah, we're going on the Breeze in August. It's going to be...
Not Ultra Cargo.
It's Ulta. Ulta, I'm sorry.
ULTA. It's kind of like Sephora. Where they have a whole bunch of different brands in the same store. They're pretty.
I think they're more on hair than they are with makeup.
Yeah, that's
ours here have more makeup than hair stuff, but they do have a really nice salon, and they're typically cheaper, like on some of their services, than a regular hair salon.
See, the girl that does my hair, she works at Ulta in their salon, and I'm still waiting on a phone call or a text message from her to be like, hey, I'm going back to work and I can now book you. So I've got roots showing.
I will say I forgot how dark my hair was.
I was gonna say I luckily got my hair trimmed right before North Carolina shut down hair salons, so it was great.
I actually found myself because my dad has like hair cutting scissors, and I gave myself like a mini trim, nothing too drastic, just like getting rid of the split ends. I'm like, I'm just gonna snip.
Hair salons was a big problem of mine growing up. Man, I did not like hairstyling growing up. Ugh.
Yeah, thankfully, like if I butchered it, it's not noticeable. So.
Yeah, I had some messed up cuts because of the way I was, from the way I was sitting growing, like when I was really young. My mom wouldn't take me to a salon until I was maybe like 7 or 8 because she knew it would be too much.
I didn't have my hair cut until I was in 5th grade.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm pretty early.
My mom would trim off like an inch after my dad would come in and measure. Like, they'd put my hair, my mom would braid it all the way down until that was maybe this much. And my dad would bring in a ruler and she could cut off 1 inch. Salon, I can't type. Leave me alone. And mom would cut off 1 inch of hair off the ends because my dad turns 81 in just a couple days, and his growing up, girls had long hair and boys had short hair. So I went into 5th grade, 5'5", and my hair came back down to the back of my knees.
Oh my goodness.
It
That
was
sounds unmanageable.
and it is massively thick. I actually donated it to Locks of Love, and they were able to make 15 wigs out of it.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
I had it chopped off, actually shorter than I had it now. It was probably about here, and it was like kind of this like little just small bob cut, and it was thinned out, and like I actually had to retrain my head how to be straight because I always had to kind of unconsciously hold my head forward
Because of all the weight.
and I was starting to get migraines. And so my parents sent me to the doctor, and the doctor goes, it's her hair. Her hair is so heavy and so thick and so long, it's causing her to pull, and it's causing the migraines. And so now I get my hair, whenever I start getting migraines from my hair, I have it cut. And I actually had to wait 3 weeks past the migraines starting this time to get an appointment. But I had it cut on Monday, and it's so nice.
And it's
I
a
forgot
relief.
and well, I'm like, hey, it's all my natural hair color again. It's not colored anymore. If you look at my Instagram, you can actually see where like I had it color stripped, and it was when they color stripped my hair's so dark. Roxanne, you'll know what I'm talking about. Katelyn, you probably won't. The 90s yellowed gel spiked hair that the boys were doing. That is what color, after they color stripped my hair, it actually was. Before they re-dyed it.
You mean like when they bleached it?
Yeah, it's called color stripping. They actually literally had to put chemicals to take out all of the brown and black out of my hair because it's so dark. If they had put in color over it, it wouldn't have done anything. But I looked like a boy band hair gel thing.
Cargo.
Cargo, I'm loving you. I was gonna say I've only done highlights. I'm trying to follow Disney look so that way I can go back. I had more of a noticeable highlights than I on my college program than I do now. And I didn't get talked to on Traditions Day, which was a relief. But they have loosened the requirements quite a bit since you've done your program, Roxana, though.
Yeah. I've got bleach blonde hair, so it might give me a hard time if I were to go back. So if I were to go back,
Cargo and Joe Backstreet Boys. So we're all good.
I just read it and I'm like, oh my god.
Cargo.
Okay, if Cargo, if you're actually going with us, this cruise is gonna be awesome. It's gonna.
I was gonna say the amount of laughs I can see is gonna be more prominent than anything.
And this is before we even drank. Just throwing that out there.
I was gonna say I can't drink, but I tell people all the time I'm mentally there already, so why would I want to make it worse? My mom said once I started talking, she couldn't shut me up.
Still can't.
No, we would not, Cargo. It would be so much fun. We will have to do a group chat or something, you, me, and Roxy, and get some details and dates potential for when they open up 2022 dates.
Yeah.
I think they're only into spring of 2021 right now, right?
Last I looked,
I think
I know
winter.
Carnival and Royal Caribbean actually already have, I think, through May or June of 2022 open.
I think that's because of all the refunds, though.
Yeah.
Well, 2022 is Carnival's 50th anniversary. So
I didn't know that.
There's some big like stuff going on in March and April for Carnival.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cargo.
Yeah, the last time I went on a cruise was 2010. I did the Carnival Sensation. And I was in Circle C at the time. I was 14.
Cargo. They're open through September of next year for Disney Cruise.
Yeah.
September. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And they haven't announced any cancellations past July, right?
Yeah.
October.
Oh, they're doing up to October. Okay, I didn't know that. As far as I heard, it was July that was getting canceled.
It's different ports
Itineraries.
aren't opening, and it's different itineraries. Like I think a lot of the Alaska stuff isn't open. Cargo. I'm a married spud.
Okay, I got that one. I'm a married spud. But I had never dated, so I can't say that.
I've been married for 13 years coming up in January.
Congratulations on that.
We got married when we were high school age. 20. I think I was 20. Yeah, 20. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, my guys at my school were more idiotic than anything, so I didn't waste my time on them.
Roxanne Carga says Roxanne is trying to profess her love for me. Hold on, let's hear this. Okay. We're ready for you.
Oh my word. You should see some of the so I got, when was it, back in February, Cargo sent me a box for an upcoming box swap, and her little clues were so darn hilarious that I couldn't finish them. I was like crying, laughing. Cargo, honestly, I could never get sick or tired of you. Like, I love you guys. Like, yes, we need to go on vacation together.
Yes.
Cargo seems to be the life of the party, it seems like.
She is the life of the party.
I don't know what that means. I don't know French. Somebody's going to have to translate that.
But bonjour is hello. I think it's hello. My name is Cargo. And after that, I'm lost.
Yeah, I only know American Sign Language, so that can take me only so far. In other countries, it's different as well. It's not the same.
Yeah, I know.
Hold up. There's going to be a Friends from the TV show Friends subscription box starting this summer.
Whoa. What is that through?
Wait. Is Christy still on the chat? Because Christy will jump on that.
Cargo, it's the bean. It's not a red silver bean thing. And I've never seen it. And I've been to Chicago how many times in my life?
It's okay. The box is $40 plus shipping.
And is it a one-time box or is it seasonal? How's it going?
It's monthly, and each month is a different season of the show.
Okay. I'm starting to watch Friends now. I'm really socially behind on shows. I think I've always been that way.
Well, you're how old?
I'm only 24. I grew up with mostly Disney Channel.
Before your time. This is like our time frame.
I still watch it.
It's quarterly. Sorry, it's quarterly. And this was the first box that they sent out. And it has the little photo frame. It's got a hat and central. It's actually a pretty decent looking box for $40. I kind of want that now.
I think that picture frame was on the back of Monica's apartment door, right?
Yep. Yeah, they had that, and Joey and Chandler had a Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Etch-a-Sketches. That was my favorite toy growing up.
It comes with apparel, accessories, collectibles, decor, homeware, and stationery. And the button to subscribe says, "How you doing?"
You should send that to Christy because she loves.
Oh my gosh, Cargo! Listen, there's no way, Jose, I would ever pay for a box of Smelly Cat.
The funny thing is, I just watched that episode recently, so now I know what that is about.
Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you? The best one. Have you seen the one where they make Smelly Cat into a music video?
I don't think I'm that far yet.
Oh, okay. You'll like that one. That's a good one. But
my favorite series that I've been watching is Switched at Birth. It was an ABC family show. And it was awesome because it's cool to see that sign language was on national TV. And it was a show that people loved. And it was cool.
I love that show.
I loved it. And Marlee Matlin, man, she is a gem of an actress. Even though she couldn't talk,
yeah,
man, she was so good at what she does.
She's actually from Illinois. She's from a few towns over from me. She went to John Hersey High School, which is in Arlington Heights. So
nice.
Yeah. So I loved that show. I watched that show regularly when it was on the air.
And I loved Lucas Grabeel from High School Musical, so that was needed another reason to watch.
Yeah.
High School Musical was the bomb, and that was my generation of growing up. It was perfect. Like the third movie came out when I was a sophomore in high school, so it was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
That was one of the few shows that at least that I can remember that actually had deaf and hard of hearing actors on it. So
it was so awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite sign is stilettos.
Oh yeah.
Because it's uncomfortable to walk. And then mosquito. I always tell people if they want to learn sign is to master the alphabet, because if you don't know the sign for it, you can finger spell it.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that, Cargo. Lena, have you watched Switched at Birth?
I think I watched a couple episodes off and on, but it that was out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
I feel like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I was married and dealing with the military, so
you had other things on your mind.
I've been married since 2008, so my husband was career Army until he had cancer, so I was dealing with a lot in the early to mid 2000s. I was already a married lady.
Nice. Yeah, Switched at Birth was awesome. You might want to watch a couple of episode clips from the series, because the way they brought the cast together was something that was so cool, and that will never be recreated again. Like,
yeah.
Katelyn, like, think about it. When I was your age, I'd been married almost 5 years.
I can't imagine that, because I haven't even started dating yet.
Well, see, and this is something I think Sam and I've talked about on my channel, is he proposed on our first date.
Whoa. He's a lot of guys.
So he was my first boyfriend. He was first everything. Both ways. So, and I can sign my name.
Restroom.
N-A.
Nice. The washroom, it's like an R, so, and then you just do that. That's restroom.
Okay. Right. So this live stream has been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
and my husband's about to be off work, and I've got and thankfully he's doing dinner, but I'm in charge of side dishes, so I probably need to get working on that.
So I will see you guys Friday night for Spilling in Disney Tea at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and then on my channel, Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, I go live. It was nice having you on, Katelyn.
Yes,
yeah, it was really fun.
Live stream. You will do fine live streaming. Just do pretty much the same as you've done with us. Pick a topic that you think is important, like, your talking about, you're working with the college program, and, even if you just talk and give stories about that as a pick a couple and do live streams on that. That would be perfect, because then it's separate from a video and you can interact with people in the chat.
Yeah. So, and then you're always welcome to join any of my live streams. They're every Saturday night. So, and Lena's been on.
Yeah, and I've been taking a live streaming break, but I'll probably go back to live streaming on Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. Central.
Yeah, I say I go live on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, right before Dolip's dad's pins live. So
Make sure that you're posting that on Instagram, and like in your stories and on your feed. Make sure it's on your blog. And I always schedule them in advance so people will see them on like on the channel when it pops up that it's scheduled. That way people go, oh, that she's got a live stream coming up. That's right.
yeah, I've been doing that with StreamYard, putting in the description and all that. And if I need to edit it later, I can.
Yes, Cargo, you are that crazy. But
we love you.
I'm mentally crazy already, so I always tell people that. The Lord made me mentally crazy for a reason, for a positive reason, and go with it. And my name has an I, not a Y. But I get that comment, so don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. See you guys Friday night.
Have a magical day, everyone.